Am I supposed to say good evening? Good evening, everybody. It appears we're live, so it is Sunday, the 1st of November. And good evening to all the teams taking part tonight. Big news, of course, in the news this week is the second lockdown, which is going to happen this Thursday. So if anybody wants to mention this week's lockdown, you're more than welcome to put something in the chat column and see what you think. What teams have we got out there at the moment? I haven't seen anybody logging in and talking yet, but do feel free to add a comment and sign yourselves in and say hello. Tonight we basically, I'm going to run through, we've got Squeaky Bob already here. Good evening, Neil and Tracy are here. So good evening to Squeaky Bob. Hope all is well with you and keeping well, I trust. Tonight I'm on a very, same as last week actually, but never mind, an American IPA, 5% from Harper's. That marvellous, I think it's an oldie brand or one of the supermarket brands anyway, but it's pretty good. But suffice to say, we're going to have a bit of beer left at our pubs this week. So if anybody would like to buy some beer, you better contact me, because we'll probably have some carry-outs to sell off to people. Right, Mike Yates has just joined us. So good evening, Mike. Hope all is well with you and you're keeping well. And as has Mick and Bev, who are now online. So good evening, Mick and Bev. I trust you're both keeping well and had a good weekend. It's been a bit windy and wet this weekend, doesn't it? But never mind. Martin Davis, Martin and Tina have just joined us. So they're saying good evening all from Dunchurch. So Martin, how's things now? Have you managed to recover fully from your bout of the dreaded, or are you still suffering a bit? You'll have to let me know and see how we all fare, after your experience. It'd be interesting to know, I suppose. Right, let me just quickly run through last Sunday's winners. We had quite a contest last week, starting off with 57 points, and in first place we had Split the Difference, who were equal first with Ian and his bottle of Shiraz. He's been doing a lot better without the rest of his team since he's had his bottle of Shiraz, so well done to Ian. They came first on 57 points. In second place last week we had Julie Ashcroft with a fantastic 56 points. Then we had in third place, Julie was in third place, obviously. In fourth place, we had PRS on 54.5 points. They were closely followed by Martin and Tina, who were fifth on 54 points. Well played them. And then we had a whole host of teams who were all sixth equal. These included Mick and Bev Roberts, Home Alone 6, Pick and Mix. We had the Famous Five. We had Leslie Barrett, Anthony Ridgway and the Ridgways, and Squeaky Bob, all of which were sixth equal last week on a fantastic 53 points. So well played to them. Now then, who else has joined us tonight? We've just Vanessa's just joined us. Good evening, Vanessa. Hope all is well. I raise a glass to you. Martin's just telling us it's Martin and Tina Davis, who were one of the quiz teams that used to come in. They were better known as the Weak Links. They often used to come in on Sunday night and often used to walk away with the prize sometimes, but never mind. But Martin and Tina have been suffering with the dreaded COVID. Now, they've just said much better now. Took 2 weeks, though, so they've had 2 weeks of it together. So I hope all is well with them now. Carol's just signed in, so we've got Carol Jackson and Home Alone 6 are here. Have we got the full team in tonight, Carol? Are they all sat raring to go, or have we got people from different parts of the country taking part? Anthony Ridgway has just joined us, so good evening to Anthony. Paul and Trish, no doubt. It'd be great to see you. And I was saying, with 53 points last week and a sixth equal place, that was a very good spot to be. Vanessa's saying good evening all. She's just signed in. Anne Anderson, evening everyone from Anne and Dave in wet and windy Essex. Well, it's pretty windy here, but I expect near the coast, well, certainly in Essex anyway, it's bound to be a little windier at the moment, but never mind. Eileen's just joined us, so Eileen Winston, Gaz and Bean are signing in. Andrew Lewis has just signed in, Andrew, and Jane from Yelvertoft. So good evening, Andrew. Hope all is well with you too and you're keeping well. Yes, Carol's saying we have a full team tonight. Excellent. That's just what you need. Georgia's just signing in. It's great to see you, Georgia, and the gang. Hope all is well at the up in York. You're already on full lockdown, I suppose. We're all going to be joining you this week. So come Thursday, all the pubs are shut again, but never mind. We shall crack on. Apparently, we You know, we're British, stiff upper lip and all that baloney. So we can put up with these times. We've now got Ian, Anthony James just joined us, Don Grizzotti signing in from Manchester, London, and Lower Hill Morton. Fantastic. So they have a team from all over the UK. We've got Jed and Tracy just joined us now. So good evening, Jed and Tracy. Hope all is well and you're keeping well. Graham and Jane have just joined us from sunny Cambridge. So hope all is well with Graham and Jane and you're keeping well. John O'Rourke's here. He's just joined us, the famous 5. Have we got a full 5 in the team tonight, John? Or is it 6 or is it 4? You'll have to let me know. And Lisa's just joined us. So Team UK, USA, they're now checking in on time this week. Not an hour early, as we changed the clock last week. If you recall, Lisa joined us an hour early last week, but never mind. Things like that happen, I suppose. At least we haven't changed the clocks this week. Now, last night, it was quite interesting. I was, I say forced, I was asked to do a quiz down at the local pub, one of our pubs, and it went very well, actually. It wasn't packed, but it was okay. A bit spooky. We had some spooky music playing, some low lighting. And, of course, we had lots of Halloween questions, which I'm sparing you with tonight. So there won't be anything to do with Halloween. Pretty straightforward rounds tonight, unless you'd particularly like a Halloween round, especially if I repeated last night's Halloween round, but never mind. Jill Pugh's just joined us. Good evening, Jill and Steve. Hope all is well with you. Another couple from Cambridge, from Toft, a little village just outside Cambridge. Hope all is well with you too, and you're keeping well. As I was saying, we were doing a quiz last night at the Alexander Arms, or Alexander Tavern, as the landlord likes to call it now. And yeah, it was quite successful. We were there to about 9:30, and one of our regular teams managed to win the overall quiz, but I think everybody kind of enjoyed it, and most teams went away with some kind of prize, which was good. Right then, rounds tonight. We start off tonight with Sunday, the 1st of November. Sunday, the 1st of November is your first round. So it's going to spell out the word Sunday, followed by the number 1, followed by NOV, N-O-V. So it's Sunday, 1, NOV. Sunday. Round number 2 is a connections round, where I ask you 9 general knowledge questions, and a 10th question will ask what is the connection between the previous 9 answers. Round number 3 is going to be a birdie round, something to do with bird connections. So basically, yeah, there'll be a bird somewhere in each of the answers, and that's quite a challenging round, I have to say, but never mind. Round number 4 is a rhyming pairs round. We've done rhyming pairs before. That's pretty straightforward. Then we have round number 5. All the answers contain either the word pot or pan. Pot or pan. So that's pretty straightforward. And finally, round number 6 is a general trivia round designed to catch you all out with some straightforward trivia, which will keep you all going, I'm sure. Right then, it'd be interesting to know what beer and things everybody's on tonight. As I said earlier, I think ours is marvellous Harper's Ale. I think, where did we get this from, Ange? Was it Aldi's? I think it's an Aldi's brand, and it's not bad at all. Good value. You get 5% by volume, 500ml bottle for about £1. I think it was about £1.09 or something like that. Certainly better value than the tins, that's for sure. Right, we've got Martin Davis. He's just telling me he's on the Spitfire tonight. Excellent. Well done, Martin. Julie Ashcroft has just joined us. She's saying, hi, Nick, and everyone from Brownsover. Chris Meads has just said he's on the Plum Porter. Excellent. We know where we can get that at the moment. Tesco's are selling Plum Porter, if you fancy Plum Porter. Oh, my goodness. The phone's going in the background, but never mind. I'll let the wife answer that. I've also got tonight to test mine. So we've got this as well. This is called Pale Aura, some kind of pale ale by the Bad Company, the Bad Brewing Company. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? But never mind. Right, let me just run through last week's winners again, or Ghost Ship. Mick Roberts is on Ghost Ship. Adnams Ghost Ship. Now, that is a good beer. I had some of that the other week, and I was impressed with that. Good old brewery, Adnams. I don't know how the big breweries, like, well, I say they're the medium-sized breweries. I don't know how the medium-sized breweries are actually coping at the moment. Must be very difficult. One week the pubs want some beers, the next week they don't. So, basically they're having to rely very much on supermarket sales, I suppose, which are booming, I think. So that's excellent. Now, yes, Michelle's just joined us. Good evening, Nick and Charlie and Michelle and James, all ready to go. Well, thanks very much for joining us last night, Michelle. And an extra thank you for the prize you gave for our charity quiz, which is going to be on 6th of December. You'll notice now on my page, if you go to my subscribe to my page, you'll notice a little button up in the right hand side which says subscribe somewhere, and up there's a just giving thing, and we're going to hold a quiz on the 6th of December and see whether we can raise some money for one of the local charities, which is Rugby Night Hospice, but I will give you more information about that as we get closer to it. Right, Kevin Keenan and our friends from the Rugby Rotary Club have joined us. So how many have you got in your team tonight, Kevin? 5 or 6 of you, perhaps? I don't know. We'll see. Steve's just joined us. Steve Fun. Good evening from Steve Hills, and of course Dexter. Now Dexter, who I thought was their son, turns out Dexter's a dog. But never mind. So good evening, and hope Dexter is well, of course. I trust he hasn't gone to sleep already. Team Captain Dexter. I hope he's keeping you on your toes tonight, and I'm expecting some good things from Steve and Hills. So let's see how we do. Gareth's just joined us, so good evening to Gaz and Bean, and we've just got Matthew Blood and PRS signing in. Robin, Claire and Matthew. Pitch perfect from Robin. How's the power generation going? Well, the power generation today, Matthew, was poor. Poor is the word. We didn't have much sun at all. I think we managed to generate. Let me have a look. I'll tell you how much we generated, but it wasn't an awful lot. Let's just have a little look. Some dismal performance by the solar system today. Don't know why we bother. Oh, 7.1 kilowatts today. Not enough to charge my car, unfortunately. Never mind. Sarah's just joined us from Worcester, so good evening, Sarah. We've got Russ, James and Joe all checking in, so great to see a full team. Friends from Worcester, so it's lovely to see you tonight. What's that? I hope you haven't been eating too many mushrooms, Sarah. I was looking at your posts, and there's the outdoor type going around foraging for all those mushrooms. I hope you're enjoying a few of them at least. Right then. I certainly have, she says, right. She's been enjoying the mushroom. Let me just run through last week's winners, losers, and whatever else. In first place last week, we had Split the Difference and Ian and his bottle of Shiraz on 57 points. That wasn't bad out of 60. We had Julie Ashcroft in third place on 56 points. Closely followed by PRS, who were fourth on 54.5 points. Martin and Tina were in the top 5 in fifth place on 54 points. Then we had Mick Roberts, Home Alone 6, Pick and Mix, Famous 5, Leslie Barrett, Anthony Ridgway, and Squeaky Pob, all of which have logged in tonight, I think. They were all sixth equal on 53 points. Then there were plenty, of course, 52s and 51s, but I didn't want to go all the way down the list. It'll be here forever. But never mind. But it was great to see so many people taking part in the quiz last week. Right, we've got a couple of minutes before the quiz starts tonight. So let me just run through those rounds again. We start off. Round number 1 is entitled Sunday the 1st of November. Tonight, we're just going to spell out the word Sunday, the number 1, followed by the 3 letters N-O-V. So Sunday 1st Nov spells out. That gives us 10 possible answers to round number 1. Round number 2 is a connections round. 9 general knowledge questions, where question 10 asks for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Round number 3 is something to do with birdie connections, and they are a bit tenuous, some of those connections, so I hope you can find the birds in each of the answers somewhere. Round number 4 tonight is a rhyming pairs round. We all like rhyming pairs. Now, rhyming pairs, basically, 5 of the answers rhyme with the other 5 answers, which is pretty straightforward, really. Round number 5 tonight is entitled Pots or Pan. Pot or pan. All the answers contain the word pot in that order or pan in that order, which is pretty straightforward. And then generally, round number 6 is just a general trivia round to keep you all on your toes, he said knowingly. So with 30 seconds to go before we get going, I will just bring up the quiz. On my screen, we have at the moment, we've got 58 concurrent people taking part in the quiz. So let's just get this quiz up. Sort it out so it's at the top of my screen, not the bottom of my screen. My daughter, as always, will be putting the... Nick Bowser's just joined us. Good evening, Nick. Hope all is well with you. Hello. He's saying hello to everybody else. What are you on tonight, Nick? Any decent beer? Yeah. Ah, fantastic. Right then. It is now 2015, so it's time to kick off. With an answer. First answer, obviously, he's on... Oh, what vino. Excellent. So question one's got to start with the letter S. The letter S. Here we go then. Derived from the Latin and originally meaning 6th hour. What late 15th century Spanish word is used to describe a nap or a sleep during the hottest part of the day? Gets easier, as it says. Starts off a bit tricky, that question, but it got a bit easier. So derived from the Latin and originally meaning 6th hour. What late 15th century Spanish word is used to describe a nap or sleep during the hottest part of the day? Starting with the letter S. Don't get much easier than that, I'm sure. I know I could have made the question a lot easier for you, but never mind. Well, I didn't have to make it as a wordy, did I? Question number 2. In the world of timekeeping, what does the U stand for in the acronym UTC? Often used now instead of GMT. So in the world of timekeeping, what does the U stand for in the acronym UTC? Don't think too hard, it's not that difficult. You might struggle with the C, however, as I did. Now, question number 3 begins with the letter N. It's a 4-letter answer, which will help you enormously. And I didn't know, I wrote the question before he died yesterday. So here we go. Question number 3, based on the 1961 James Bond novel Thunderball, in which 1983 movie did Sean Connery return as James Bond? Good evening, George. George has just joined us. Good evening, George. Hope all is well. All the questions, George, are in the column on the right-hand side. We're only 2 questions in, so it's pretty easy to catch up with those, I'm sure. So question number 3 again, based on the 1961 James Bond novel Thunderball, in which 1983 movie did Sean Connery return as James Bond? It's a 4-word answer. First word starts with the letter N, which makes it a bit easier for you. Question number 4 is a pretty straightforward quizzes question. Most quiz people should know this one. What mineral has the highest number on the Mohs scale? So which mineral has the highest number on the Mohs scale? And that, of course, starts with the letter D. Oh, Mrs. Doyle's joined us. Hello from Les and Marion in Norwich. Well, good evening, Mrs. Doyle. I like the name. Good evening, Les, Marion. Hope all is well. As I was saying, if you want to take part in the quiz, you've done it before or not, questions are all in the right-hand side. We're only just into round 1. We're question number 4. If you go back through the chat, you'll find each of the questions on the right-hand side. Just write the answers down and we do some marking after each round. Right, question number 5. The word eureka comes from the ancient Greek meaning I found it, but which famous Greek mathematician is often associated with this word? And that, of course, starts with the letter A. So the word eureka comes from the ancient Greek meaning I found it, but which famous Greek mathematician is often associated with this word? As I said, Les and Marion, all the questions Lydia puts up in the right-hand side in the chat column. You've obviously found the chat column, so just scroll back up and you'll get question 1, 2, 3, 4. That was question number 5. All these answers spell out the word Sunday, followed by the number 1, followed by NOV for November. So question number 6, starting with the letter Y. Not too tricky, I'm sure. Who is a character in William Shakespeare's play Hamlet? He is the dead court jester whose skull is exhumed by the first gravedigger? Alas, I knew him well. So who is a character in William Shakespeare's play Hamlet? He is the dead court jester whose skull is exhumed by the first gravedigger. Nick's just saying that he was the best at 007. Well, he was. He was a decent 007 by any standards, I suppose. Oh. Keep going, Roy. You'll probably do the whole text. Right then, starting with the number 1. This is always a testing one, this one, because it's one of 2 or 3 possible answers. How many players make up an Australian rules football team? So how many players make up an Australian rules football team? Starting with the number 1, it's a 2-digit answer. I can't give you the second digit, otherwise I'll give you the give the answer away, but never mind. Right, we've got 63 people concurrently online, which is good. Nice to see so many, especially now it looks like we've got a forced lockdown for the next month again. It's going to be a disaster, but never mind. I started doing these quizzes back in March. We've now done, between us, me and Lydia, 61. This is our 61st quiz tonight. So, right, question number 8. This starts with the letter N, as in November. Which Serbian-American engineer and physicist invented the first AC motor and developed AC generation and transmission technology? Extremely famous scientist. It's a 2-word answer, and his first name starts with the letter N. So which Serbian-American engineer and physicist invented the first AC motor and developed AC generation and transmission technology? Question number 9 becomes a bit easier because I've given you the letter, of course. Starting with the letter O, the Red River forms the border between Texas and which other American state? So this is not the Red River in Hanoi, but the Red River forms the border between Texas and which other American state? And finally, in this dead easy round, I will give you half a point for this. If you get close to it, you'll get a full point if you can get the whole answer here. It's a 3-word answer I want. First presented to the champion in 1886. What is the name of the ladies' singles trophy awarded at the Wimbledon Championships? It's a 3-word answer starting with the letter V. So first presented to the champion in 1886. What is the name of the ladies' single trophy awarded at the Wimbledon Championships? It's a 3-word answer. If you can get it all correct, I'll give you a full point. If it's a bit over, suspect, half a point. Lisa, yes. Spell out the word Sunday. That's 6. That's your first 6. Number 7 is a number 1. And then 8, 9, and 10 is N-O-V, as in November. So your answers should read down top to bottom. They should read the word Sunday, followed by a number 1, followed by N-O-V, as in November. Sorry, it's a bit confusing. I normally put first, but kind of... That's right. Well done, Lisa. Oh, no, that's Lydia that's put that. Sorry. Well done, Lydia. I normally put 01 or something, but I was trying to make you 10 letters, you said, instead of whatever, but never mind. Kind of fitted for a change. Perhaps I'll change it round and do something else next week, I don't know. The problem is keep coming up with questions with Y in them all the time. It's very difficult, I suppose there's lots of people's names with Y in, but never mind. Right then, everybody, I think we've probably had long enough. That was just under 10 minutes, that round. So let's go back to number one, do some marking. Now, you mark your own, especially Les and Marion, if you've not done it before. Mark your own sheets, and all you've got to do is, in the chat, you just put your total score after each round. So question number one, of course, that word I wanted for that sleep or nap in the afternoon is a siesta. Number two, in the world of timekeeping, UTC is Universal Time Coordinated, but I only needed the universal, so universal time, basically. Question number three, the film I wanted was Never Say Never Again. Never Say Never Again. Well done if you got that. Number four, of course, is a diamond. Number five, it was Archimedes, of course, that jumped out his bath saying Eureka, apparently. Number six, alas, poor Yorick I was after. Yorick, the court jester. Number seven, how many players make up an Australian rules football team? That's 18. Well done if you got that, because I was thinking 17, but it's 18. Which Serbian-American engineer and physicist invented the AC motor? Nikola Tesla. It was Nikola Tesla, so well done if you got that. Number nine, of course, is Oklahoma. And finally, number 10, it's for the full point, it's the Venus Rosewater dish. The Venus Rosewater dish. I'll give you half a point if you got Venus. But that's what it's called. So let's have some scores in, see how we've all fared. I expect we'll have one or two 10s there, but maybe one or two people caught out with the last one. So, Sarah, Ross, Joe, and the gang. 7 points. We've got Graham Gifford on 8. Martin Davis, a very good 8.5. We've got Mick Roberts on a 9. Well done, Mick. Jen and Tracy are on a 7. Ian Miller's on an 8. We've got Steve Farnan and Dexter on a 9. We've got Squeaky Bob on 7. Mike Yates is on 8. The Ridgeways are on 8. Split the difference on 10. Good start there. The Famous Five are on 9. Don Fazzoti's on 8. We've got the Rugby Road Club on 9. The Yorkies are on 5. Andrew Lewis is on 6. Jill Pugh, not quite 4. Julie Ashcroft's on 8.5. Michelle Gibbons is on 8. Home Loan 6 are on 8. We've got Nick Bowers on 8. Clive and Janet from Stockton are on 9.5. Anne Anderson's on 8. We've got Vanessa Hughes on 5. Lisa Lasky and Team UK USA on a fantastic 10. We've got Gaz and Bean on 11. Well played them. PRS, lucky guess on one of them. They're on 10 points. Well played them. We have played before. Les Barrett is a regular. Still only managed 8. Never mind. That's excellent. And we've got Gaz and Bean on 9. Not 11. Well done, Gaz and Bean. We've got Julie, Angie, Ian. Harry, Julie, Angie, Ian. Oh, I know it's Butler Shiraz on 8.5. So well done, Ian. Half, a possible half for if they just put Venus down for the last one there, Roy. Rosewater dish. I always thought it was the Rose Bowl. Rose Bowl is something else, and it was a stadium somewhere, isn't it? But never mind. Right then, everybody. Round number 2, pretty straightforward. It's a connections round. This basically is 9 general knowledge question. And question number 10 just asks for a connection between the previous 9 answers. It's a pretty straightforward connection today, so I'm expecting 1 or 2 of you to get it within the first 2 or 3. So here we go. What do you want R for now, Roy? He likes arguing his half points, really. Right, question number 1. Born on November the 19th, 1600 in Dunfermline Castle, who was King of England from the 27th of March, 1625, until his unfortunate demise due to the untimely severing of his head, which occurred on the 30th of January, 1649. So born on November the 19th, 1600 in Dunfermline Castle, who was King of England from the 27th of March, 1625, until his unfortunate demise due to the untimely severing of his head, which occurred on the 30th of January, 1649. I need his name and his regnal number, of course. Right then, question number 2, pretty straightforward. It's a 2-word answer I'm after. What was the character name played by Richard Wilson in the British sitcom 1 Foot in the Grave? It's a two-word answer, pretty straightforward. What was the character name played by Richard Wilson in the British sitcom 1 Foot in the Grave? Question number 3. If you don't get this straight away, you will get it when you get the connection. So listen carefully. Derived from the Greek word for sound, which mountain nymph had to endure Hera's jealous retribution, which made her only able to speak the last words spoken to her? It's kind of a clue in that somewhere. So derived from the Greek word for sound, which mountain nymph had to endure Hera's jealous retribution, which made her only able to speak the last words spoken to her? That's just a one-word answer. Martin's got the connection already. You smart Alec. You smart Alec. Question number 4. What name is given to a device, a type of transducer, that converts sound pressure into an electrical signal? Oh, Squeaky Bob, they got it on question 2. They've all got it now. Got the oh, blow. I give up. It's too easy, I know. Never mind. Well, you should be easy then for all of you, shouldn't it? So what name is given to a device, a type of transducer, that converts sound pressure into an electrical signal? Nice easy one, that one, I'm sure. Question number 5. Multiple answer this one. Written by William Shakespeare early in his career, which tragedy was the story of 2 young star-crossed lovers whose deaths ultimately reconcile their feuding families? So written by William Shakespeare early in his career, which tragedy was a story of 2 young star-crossed lovers whose deaths ultimately reconcile their feuding families? Now the Harper's IPA is going down nicely. Question number 6. What is the SI unit of mass? It is the last remaining physical artifact. All other base units have now been defined in terms of fundamental constants. If that makes any sense to you. If you're a scientist, you'll probably understand that. So what is the SI unit of mass? It is the last remaining physical artifact. All of the base units have now been defined in terms of fundamental constants. Question number 7. Listen carefully. The lyrics. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Comes from which 1976 Grammy Award-winning song? 2-word answer. One of those was something to do with the connection. So question 7 again. The lyrics. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Comes from which 1976 Grammy Award-winning song? I think it's the second verse, actually. Because I've had the first verse before at some time or another. Question number 8. I'll give you the initials. This gives it away a little bit. Who was a Canadian jazz pianist and composer? He was called the Maharaja of the keyboard by Duke Ellington, but simply OP by his friends. That kind of gives it away a bit, but never mind. So who was a Canadian jazz pianist and composer? He was called the Maharaja of the keyboard by Duke Ellington, but simply OP by his friends. Right, time to crack open. Now I'm going to try the pale aura. See what this is like. Not quite sure what an aura is this find us, but I expect it's something to glow of some description, so we'll see how it glows. It's a bit fizzy at the moment. Yes, I suppose it's got some kind of aura. Right, question number 9. What are the 2 main ingredients used in the American cocktail known as a Boilermaker? One of them's pretty obvious. So what are the 2 main ingredients used in the American cocktail known as a Boilermaker? I will give half point for that, Roy, if you can get one of the 2 components. Obviously a full point if you can get both. And finally, question number 10, what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? So what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? Well, I hope most of you have worked that out by now, because if you haven't, you might be in trouble, but hopefully you have. Go back and see whether you can fill in those missing ones. But my most expensive firework was a dud. The warning on the side of it said you must never go back to a firework once it's been ignited. Just as well, there was no way my neighbour's letterbox to try something. Oh dear. Oh dear. As well, there's no way my neighbour's letterbox to try lighting. There you go. I remember when there were fireworks, never go back to a lighted firework. Oh yes, used to be we used to get away with murder when we were kids with fireworks, that was for sure. We used to go to, there was a local shop just up the road in Rugby called Moore's Handicrafts, and they used to sell some wicked bangers. We was always buying these bangers and letting them off. Oh dear God. Things we did. Anyway, let's just go through these answers. Again, about 10 minutes that round. So here we go then. The connections. Are we all ready to do some marking? Question number 1. Person who had his head severed in 1649 was, of course, Charles I. Charles I. Question number 2 was Victor Meldrew. Number 3. Of course, it was Echo that I was after. Apparently, her husband, Hera's husband, Zeus, had a soft spot for Echo, and she got a bit jealous and made her stutter her last word, apparently. Question number 4 is a microphone. Question number 5, the feuding families. Of course, it was Romeo and Juliet I was after. Number 6, the SI base unit of mass is the kilogram. Number 7, the lyrics come from the song Hotel California. Number 8, it was Oscar Peterson. That OP gave it away a bit with that one. Never mind. Number 9, a Boilermaker. A half point for whiskey, of course, which you would have got. The other half is beer. So it's whiskey and beer make a Boilermaker. And final number 10, the connection, of course. They're all words from the phonetic alphabet. They're all words from the NATO phonetic alphabet. So well done if you got that. Ian's what we used to stick anglers in the end of a tube and let them off. Well, we used to wrap things round the bangers so they'd melt. You'd set light to them so that the fuse and fizz, drop them into the canal, and then explode under the water, which was all good, quite good fun. Right, here we go. We have Squeaky Pop Dave moving on to 17 points. Famous Five on 18.5. Ian Miller's on 18. We've got Sarah on 16.5. Split the difference on 20 points. Mick Roberts doing ever so well, 19 points. Graham Gifford's on 17.5. Michelle and Charlie, what are they? Where are they? Oh, God, it's just gone off the screen. On 17. Jill Pugh, they started badly, but they're coming back strong now. They're on 12. We've got Anthony Ridgeway and the Ridgeways are on 18. The Yorkers are on 13. Well played them. Matthew Blood, PRS, 19.5. Julie Ashcroft's on 18.5. Steve Farman's on 16.5. Nick Bowers now on 18. We've got Mike Yates on 17.5. Home Alone 6 are on 17.5. We've got Lisa with Team UK USA, 20 points. Well played them. Jed and Tracy are on 16.5. Martin Davis has now moved on to 17.5, as has Don Quixote. The Rugby Roach Club doing ever so well on 19.5 points. We've got Anna Anderson on 17.5. Andrew Lewis has moved on to 50 with Jane. Ian Sharrett, we've got Harry, Julie, Angie, Ian, Annie Shiraz are now on 18.5. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 19 points. Well played them. Mrs. Doyle, that's Les and Marion on 9.5. We've got Gaz and Bean on 17. Oh, no, wait a minute. We've got, Les and Marion are on 17.5. Well played them. Vanessa has moved on to 14 points. Well played, Vanessa. Right then, any more scores to come in? Right then, round number 3. All the answers have some kind of birdie connection. Birdie connection. Right then, all of these answers somewhere have got the name of a bird in each of the answers, all right? There's a name of the bird in all of the answers, although it might not be spelt correctly. So just take that into account. All the answers have got the name of a bird somewhere in the answer. However, not necessarily spelt correctly. You'll get the idea as we go along. So question number 1. What one word is used to describe a person who is easily taken in by what other people say? So what one word is used to describe a person who is easily taken in by what other people say? Remember, I'm looking for the name of a bird in there somewhere, so you get the idea. Has everybody got the idea after that question? Or are you in the dark still? I'm just looking at my pale aura, which I've just poured. It's come out as a hazy cloud. So I think pale aura might be of a bit of a, I don't know, bit of an exaggeration, or perhaps an incorrect description, maybe. Although auras maybe are there, maybe auras can be hazy as well. I don't know. Maybe they can. Damn, I know what I meant to do and I've forgotten. There was a bit like Atomic. I was drinking some Atomic last night and it was fantastically clear. So clear indeed. It was my own beer. It was really quite good last night. Right, question number 2. With a name thought to originally have derived from the Persian word for chariot, which chess piece is also called the elephant or the ship in other languages? So with a name thought to originally have derived from the Persian word for chariot, which chess piece is also the elephant or the ship in other languages? Right, question number 3. What is a Liverpool City Council ward? Historically, it lies within the county of Lancashire. It was made popular by the Liverpudlian comedians Arthur Askey and Ken Dodd. I'll put Askey. There's no T in Askey. I'm not sure it's Arthur spelled right, are they? Just spell Arthur. So what is a Liverpool City Council ward? Historically, it lies within the county of Lancashire. It was made popular by the Liverpudlian comedians Arthur Askey and Ken Dodd. Remember, we're looking for birdie connections. Question number 4. Often textured, coloured or painted after application. What name is given to the application of a pre-mixed layer of sand and cement to brick, concrete, stone or brick? Oh, wait a minute, I'll put all mud brick. We don't need that last bit. Yeah, that bit. Mud brick, we don't need that bit. So often textured, coloured or painted after application. I'll put application to that as well. Right, just put often textured, coloured. Sorry, I'm just changing as we go here. So often textured, coloured or painted. What name is given to the application of a pre-mixed layer of sand and cement to brick, concrete or stone? I'd got that question, Ian, but I knew there was going to be one going on about that. I did have a question that the wife said I couldn't use. Well, I said I couldn't use it because it's sexist, and I didn't want to do that. Question number 5. Listen carefully. What commodity went up by nearly 400% in price after embargo lasting nearly 6 months from October 1973 to the March of 1974? So what commodity went up by nearly 400% in price after an embargo lasting nearly 6 months from October 1973 to March 1974? Think laterally with that one. Maybe not the first thing you think of, but the second thing. But you still have your coupons. Not as old as you, Martin, surely. I'm probably 10 years older. Question number 6. Since its beginnings in 1984, what has become the UK's most publicised art award? You are much older, you see. Never. So since its beginnings in 1984, what has become the UK's most publicised art award? I thought you were drawing your old age pension though, Martin. You must be older than me. Yeah, I know he gave for third. Now, do remember we're looking for birds somewhere here. Question number 7. What 2-word slang name is used to describe a community support officer in the United Kingdom? 10 years for that. So question 7 again. What 2-word slang name is used to describe a community support officer in the United Kingdom? It's a two-word answer I'm after. Martin, you still arguing about your age? Question number 8. This is pushing the bird bit a bit, but never mind. See what you think of this one. Who are an English electronic music band formed in the Wirral, Merseyside in 1978? Amongst their biggest hits were the singles Enola Gay and Maid of Orleans. So who are an English electronic music band formed in the Wirral, Merseyside in 1978? Amongst their biggest hits were the singles Enola Gay and Maid of Orleans. That is a bit tenuous, the link with the bird there, but you'll get it, I'm sure. Question number 9 is for all you DIYers. You should all know this, especially if you've put IKEA bits together. What name is given to a small cylindrical rod, usually made from wood, plastic or metal, that are commonly used as structural reinforcements in cabinet making? So what name is given to a small cylindrical rod, usually made from wood, plastic or metal, that are commonly used as structural reinforcements in cabinet making? I'm sure anybody that's put a bit of DIY furniture together will have come across some of these. And finally, question number 10, buried somewhere in the answer is a bird. What is the nickname of the Pittsburgh baseball team in recognition of the city's industrial history? So question 10 again, what is the nickname of the Pittsburgh baseball team in recognition of the city's industrial history? And there we have it. So there were 10 questions. You should have some kind of bird somewhere in all the answers. I know some of them are a bit tenuous, and I know you're going to tell me off afterwards, but never mind. I know some of them you'll be cringing at some of those answers, but never mind. We'll see how you fared. Right, does anybody need any extra time? I don't think we probably do, actually. I think we'll probably go straight through the barking with that. Right then, here we go. These are the answers to the previous birdie round. I hope you've got some kind of thing down for all the answers, something to do with the bird. Question number 1, what one word is used to describe a person who is easily taken in by what other people say? That's gullible, of course. They're gullible. And there's a gull in that answer, surprisingly. Number 2, the name thought to originally have derived from Persian word chariot. Well, it's a rook I was after, a rook. It's called an elephant or a ship in other languages. Number 3, of course, was knotty ash. A knot is a bird, of course. For anyone who doesn't know, knotty ash was the area of Liverpool. Number 4, often textured, coloured or painted, and then applied to concrete, stone or brick. It's render I was after, and of course you've got a wren in there. It might not be spelt the same, but render, well done if you got that. Number 5, this was the tricky one. What commodity went up by nearly 400% in price after an embargo? You needed to think about this because although oil went up 300%, petrol went up more by 400%. And of course, it was petrol. Petrol prices went up 400%. You must have heard of the word the petrol, but never mind. Question number 6, of course, was the Turner Prize, as in a turn. Number 7, the 2-word slang name used to describe a community support officer is a hobby bobby. A hobby being a bird of prey, of course. Vulcus subutio or something like that. Question number 8. This was a tricky one. The band I was after was orchestral manoeuvres in the dark. And of course, orc, as in orchestral. An orc is a bird. That was dreadful. Number 9. Of course, is known as a dowl. Well, there's an owl in there somewhere. I'm not quite spelt right. And finally, number 10, of course, they're known as the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in there, you've got a teal somewhere. What's that? Not kestrel. I don't know which one we're on about now, Sarah. Oh, orchestral manoeuvres in the dark. Well, yes, even better. Even better. Well, that's only the name of the band I was after. Well done. Yes, orchestral. Well, there's 2 words, 2 birds in that one, an orc and a kestrel. The Steelers play football. Oh, do they? Oh, sorry, Anthony. I hope you got that right then. You better give yourself a point for pointing that one out, being an American and all. I'll have to change that one and make sure I don't get that. I will change it while you're about it, so I don't get it wrong next time. Right then, everybody, we've got some scores coming in. Do feel free, Anthony, to correct your whatever if I led you up the garden path with that one. So we've got Jen and Tracy on 23.5 points. We've got Martin Davis who's 26.5 points. PRS have moved on to 28.5 points. We've got 18 for the Yorkies. Well played, the Yorkies. Squeaky Popper now on 26. Nick Roberts is on 27. Steve, Farnan, Gillian, Hills and Dexter on 23.5. Got Graham Gifford on 24.5. Got Split the Difference, moved on to 29. Ian Miller's now on 25. We've got Michelle and Charlie on 25. Anthony saying Pittsburgh Pirates play baseball. Oh, that's typical. Sorry, Anthony. Andrew Lewis is on 21.5. The famous 5 have moved on to 27.5. Oh God, it's just gone off my screen. Home Loan 6 are on 25.5. Julie Ashcroft's on 26.5. Jill Pugh now moved on to 20 points. Well played, Sarah. The gang are on 23.5. We've got Anne has moved on to 27.5. Don Quizerti has now moved on to 25.5. We've got Rugby Rotary Club on 27.5. Gaz and Bean moved on to 22. Nick Bowers is now on 25. Mrs. Doyle, that's Les and Mary, are on 26.5. So I'm talking Pirates in lieu of Barretts. Very good. I'll give you a point, Anthony. Don't keep... That's fine. That's fine. I've corrected my question, so it won't be wrong next time. Vanessa's on 18. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, okay. Dean, you can also give yourself an extra point. If anybody feels that they were really sorely mistreated by that question, the Steelers question, do feel free to correct themselves. All right. It's only a game of fun, remember. We're not here to kill each other. Right, we've got Clive and Janet from Stockton on 27. The Ridgeways are now moved on to 25. We've got Ian with his bottle of Shiraz, along with Julie and Angie on 26.5. And we've got Team UK USA on 29 points, with Mike Yates on 24.5. So well done, everybody. There's some great scores coming in here. Right, round number 4 is called Rhyming Pairs. Rhyming Pairs. Basically, 5 of your answers will rhyme with the other 5. Of course, the answer is you've got to find which 5 rhyme with the other 5. If they don't rhyme, then there's a problem somewhere. So let's just have a look, see whether they're all 1-word answers or they're 2-word answers. No, they're all 1-word answers tonight. So they're all 1-word answers. 5 of them rhyme with the other 5. At least I hope they do. Unless I'm caught out as with the last question, but never mind. Here we go then. This is an interesting question. I only found this out from the Chase the other day and did a bit of research on this. Here we go then. Making a surprising resurgence over the last century, the fibella is a small bone once lost in human evolution. But in which joint can this bone now be found in some people? It's made a comeback, apparently. So I always thought the human body had 206 bones, but this would make 207, of course. So making a surprise resurgence over the last century, the fibella is a small bone once lost in human evolution. But in which joint can this bone now be found in some people? And it is an increasing number of the population. It's a good question, that, wasn't it? Yeah, don't hear that very often, do you? New Bones suddenly coming back again, making a comeback. Do remember, if you like the quiz, just hit the like button. Of course, if you don't like the quiz, just give it the thumbs down, but never mind. The more likes I get, the better, obviously, because it takes us up the rankings. So do feel free to just press the button on your screen. Question number 2. Also the name of something you might find in a science lab. What is the name of Dr. Bunsen Honeydew's hapless assistant on The Muppet Show? It's a one-word answer. So also the name of something you might find in a science lab. What is the name of Dr. Bunsen Honeydew's hapless assistant on The Muppet Show? Don't know how to spell that right. Yes, I've just corrected it myself. It's well spotted. Question number 3. Lulworth, Lyme Regis, and Portland are all seaside towns found in which English county? So Lulworth, Lyme Regis, and Portland are all seaside towns found in which English county? Well, okay, one of them might be a village. I was just checking. Yes, one of those is a village, not a town, but never mind. Question number 4. With a total length of 110 kilometres and rising in Snowdonia, which river flows east via Chester and discharges to the sea between Wales and the Wirral Peninsula? I know we probably have too many Welsh questions, don't we? It's only for Martin, obviously. That old pensioner. So question number 4, with a total length of 110 kilometres and rising in Snowdonia, which river flows east via Chester and discharges to the sea between Wales and the Wirral Peninsula? We need more Welsh questions, don't we, Martin? My brother-in-law Andrew has been learning Welsh during lockdown. I don't quite know how good he is yet, but apparently he's getting quite decent at it. So maybe you and him could get together. Oh, a North bias, I get you. Question number 5. According to Greek mythology, who was the first human woman created by the gods? What's probably put discharges get you? Okay, Robin. That's how it's described on Wikipedia. It discharges, apparently. The river discharges. Right, next on the list, toffee ale. Now, I tried this the other week and it was very nice. Surprisingly, it's got the great taste of toffee. Another famous beer from Aldi's collection. What have we got to? Question number 6. What tightly fitting garment, which is worn to hold the train and torso into a desired shape, has a name derived from the Latin word for body? I think I've got an extra word in there. This needs to come out. So question 6 again. What tightly fitting garment, which is worn to hold and train the torso into a desired shape, has a name derived from the Latin word for body? It's not six-pack. No. I'm wearing my six-pack. Question Number 7. At over 1,000 meters above sea level, the highest capital city in Europe is found in which country? So question 7 again. At over 1,000 meters above sea level, the highest capital city in Europe is in which country? Right, let me test this toffee beer, see what this is like. Yes, it's the same as the bottle I had last week. Very nice. Right, question number 8. Listen carefully. What type of sauce or relish of Indian origin that typically combines sweet and sour ingredients takes its name from a Hindi word meaning to lick? What? So question number 8. What type of sauce or relish of Indian origin that typically combines sweet and sour ingredients takes its name from a Hindi word meaning to lick? It's a one-word answer. You've all heard of it. Oh, beginning to rain outside. I can hear it. I can hear it belting down outside. Question number 9. This will rhyme with something we've had previously. The university boat race starts downstream from which London bridge? So question 9 again. The university boat race starts downstream from which London bridge? And finally, question number 10, to bring this rhyming round to an end. What title is given to the presiding officer of the House of Commons? It's just a one-word answer I'm after. So what title is given to the presiding officer of the House of Commons? I can't remember what the new guy's called. Well, at least the last one was very enigmatic. Right then, 5 of those answers should rhyme with the other 5. It's belting down, isn't it? I can hear a bit of rain coming down. Never mind. Yeah, we're glad we're not on the bike tonight. We came back through Rugby Town Centre on our bike last night. Thankfully, it wasn't raining. Right, I'll just give you a minute to just look over those. Dry and Long Lawford. Well, we're just in Hill Morton. It's only just come. It stopped now. Looks like it stopped again, probably. It seemed to be coming down rather swiftly a minute ago. Right, we all had enough time with that. Sorry, I'm trying to type in a question that I forgot earlier. But I thought it was a good question, and I forgot all about it. Ian's put just as well not got round to replacing some gutters. I've only just put gutters up on my house here, and we've had I built my own house about 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago? 5.5 years ago, and we just got round to putting gutters in it. Because the outside with the render was going a bit green, so we thought it was about time. Right then, let's go back to that round, which was the rhyming pairs round. Starting off, making a surprising resurgence over the last century, the fibula is a small bone found in the knee. It's found in the knee, apparently. Question number 2, also the name of something you might find in a science lab. It was a beaker I was after. That was Dr. Bunsen Honeydew's hapless assistant, Beaker. Number 3, Lulworth, Lyme Regis and Portland are all seaside towns. Well, one of them is actually a village, Lulworth, in Dorset. So well done if you got that. Number 4 was the River Dee. Number 5, it was Pandora, of course. Pandora was the first woman created. Number 6 was a corset. Number 7 was Andorra, that capital city, the highest in Europe. Andorra la Villa, if you really want to know. Number 8, that type of sauce or relish of Indian origin, better known as chutney, of course. We all like a chutney. Number 9, that rhymes with the university boat race, so it starts downstream from Putney. And finally, number 10, the title given to the presiding officer of the House of Commons is the Speaker, which of course rhymes with beaker. So you should have Andorra, goes with Pandora. We've got corset, which goes with Dorset, D that goes with knee. You get the idea. So very well done if you got all of those. Right, the Ridgeways have moved on to fantastic 35 points. Well played them. We've got Jed and Tracy on 33.5 points. Sarah, Russ, Joe, and who's the other one? Sarah, Russ, Joe. Oh, God. Yeah. And James, that's right, James. I keep forgetting James. James, Joe. Sorry, they're on a fantastic, where are they? I lost my bearings now. 31.5. We've got Rugby Rotary Club doing really well, 37.5 points. Home Alone 6 also doing very well on 35.5. We've got Michelle and Charlie on 35. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton doing very well on 37. Squeaky Popper on 36. Jill and Steve Pure now moving on nicely now on 30 points. I don't know what went wrong with the first round, but never mind. Graham Gifford on 32.5. Mick Roberts on 37. We've got Ian Anthony Jones and Don Quizzotti on 35.5. Steve Farden and Hills and Dexter on 32.5. We've got Julie Ashcroft on 36.5. We've got Ian Miller now on 32. We've got Andrew Lewis on 31.5. PRS. They've moved on to 38.5. Well played them. James, that's the one. James. James, Joe. Sorry, James. James, Joe. Bloody hell. Trying to memorise everybody's names. It's very difficult. We've got Team UK, USA, 38 points. Well played them. We've got Gaz and Bean on 30 points. We've got the Yorkies have moved on to a very respectable 23 points. Split the difference now on 39 points, possibly in the lead at the moment, with Nick Bowers on 31 points. So well played, everybody. Wait a minute. We've also got Martin Davis on 36.5. Too many Welsh questions, obviously. Mike Yates is on 30.5. We've got Anne Anderson on 36.5 points. Les is ashamed at the moment, so we've got Les and Mario on 33.5. Why is he ashamed? Never mind. Vanessa Hughes is on 25. Squeaky Bob, cheer up, Sif. Where is Sif? I haven't seen Sif, but he's scored down yet. Ian Sharrett, Julie, Angie and Ian are on 35.5. And the famous 5 are on 38, including that extra one. That's fine. So, well played, the famous 5. So, we've got some good scores here. 38s, 39s, 38.5s, and 37s and 36s. So, everybody around there's in the hunt at the moment. Right, round number 5. Another straightforward round. 10 questions on general knowledge, where either pot or pan is hidden within each correct answer. So you've either got the word pot or the word pan in that order, buried within the answer somewhere, okay? So those 3-letter words are buried in the answer somewhere. So are we ready? Question number 1. We are on round number 5. We've now been live for just over an hour. The quiz, no, just about an hour, exactly. Which isn't bad for 4 rounds. That's averaging 15 minutes a round, I suppose. Round number 5, pot or pan. Here we go. The underwater city of Bikini Bottom features in which animated TV series? Pretty straightforward one, I'm sure, for all the Yorkies will get that straight away, I'm sure. So the underwater city of Bikini Bottom features in which animated TV series? I thought you'd get that straight away. We need more questions like that, don't we, Georgie? Perhaps I could do a round just on childish stuff. No Greek literature, no kings of England, no rivers. Oh dear. Oh God, here we go. Oh, you like this one. It's right up your street, this one is. Question number 2. Based on a Latin word meaning nephew, what name is given to the unfair use of power in order to get jobs or other benefits for your family or friends? It's a one-word answer I'm after. I'm sure we had this the other week or something similar. So based on a Latin word meaning nephew, what name is given to the unfair use of power in order to get jobs or other benefits for your family or friends? God and Janet and Boggies know that. Oh dear. What, that one or the one before? Well, it's going to get serious again as from Thursday. Piers, we've got a shot. There was me hoping to do I did say some months ago that we were hoping to do our first pub quiz in the first week of November. And as we got closer and closer, things have got worse and worse and worse. And clearly we're not going to be able to do one. So it looks like I've got to carry on doing the quizzes online. But never mind. Most people seem to be enjoying them. So what the hell? Question, except the wife. The wife's fed up with me writing them. I know she is. Question number 3. What word can go before membrane to give an alternative name for the eardrum? Nice easy one that. So what name can go before membrane? Sorry, what word can go before membrane to give an alternative name for the eardrum? Now do remember, all these answers should have the word pan or the word pot somewhere in the answer. Pot or pan. Question number 4. What gets easier than this? This takes you back to school days. In geometry, what name is given to the longest side of a right-angled triangle? So question number 4. In geometry, what name is given to the longest side of a right-angled triangle? Blimey, we should all know that one, surely. Question number 5. Right up my brother Steve's street, this one, because we've been there. Question number 5. Consisting of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, what is the name of the second largest island of the Greater Antilles? So it's the island's name I'm after. So consisting of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, what is the name of the second largest island of the Greater Antilles? If you know what the Greater Antilles are, they're bigger islands than the Lesser Antilles. Oh dear. No, sorry. Oh, bother. I'm sorry, Yorkies, I've got another Latin one coming up next, but never mind. We did actually, Graham. Did you get food poisoning? Yeah, though I think there were 16 of us went, or so. How many of us went? I think there were about 16 of us, and there were 15 of us got food poisoning. But never mind. Great hotel all the same, besides the food poisoning. It wasn't that bad, though. Question number 6. With a name derived from late Latin, as opposed to medieval Latin, which ology is the art or study of bell ringing or casting? So with a name derived from late Latin, which ology is the art or study of bell casting or ringing? And ringing, sorry. I should read the question instead of trying to get it at the top of my head. So I just put it down as it is. Graham, did you hear about our tale then? Has Steve told you about our tale? Or are you just guessing because you've been there as well? Question number 7. What condition is defined in humans as having a core body temperature less than 35 degrees Celsius? So question 7 again. Which condition is defined in humans as having a core body temperature less than 35 degrees Celsius? Yes, we stayed. The whole family went, Graham. We had a lovely holiday. It was me and 1, 2, 3 of my brothers, wasn't there? How many brothers went? I can't remember. All the kids, mother, Greg and Stephen. Yeah. There were 3 families, no, 4 families. Well, 3 families went, and yes, we went out. We had a great time, but and the food was fabulous. Don't get me wrong. No, we weren't. Question number 8. What dessert, consisting of fruit preserved or cooked in syrup, takes its name from an old French word meaning mixture? So what dessert, consisting of fruit preserved or cooked in syrup, takes its name from an old French word meaning mixture? It's one word answer. How's everybody doing? We're all doing all right in this round? It's always the last round that sorts a few out, I have to say, but never mind. A few tricky questions in the last round tonight. Question number 9. What breed of dog is Lady in the Disney film Lady and the Tramp? So what breed of dog is Lady in the Disney film Lady and the Tramp? And finally, question number 10. This is one the Yorkies will get straight away. Not. We'll see. Who is described as tall and tan and young and lovely in the opening line of a famous song? So question number 10 again. Who is described as tall and tan and young and lovely in the opening line of a famous song? What? You got it straight away. Fantastic. Well done. You might have got all of those then. Well done. How many do you have in your team, Georgia? You've got 4, 5, 6. Not that it matters, I don't care. We've got some teams of 6 and 7 and 8. Not that it makes any damn difference when it comes to it. I've always found there's only 2 of us. Oh, that's a shame. Can't you draft a few more in? I've always found when I'm doing quizzes, it's awkward because the more people you have in the team, the more arguing you do. Me and my mate Ken used to argue all the time over answers. Especially when I was right and he was wrong, or he was right and I was wrong. But never mind. Yes. Georgia says we might have to draft a few more in at this rate. We might as well. We're all on lockdown. You've got to do something, haven't you? So get them in to come and do the quiz with you. So we need some more help. Oh dear. Right then, everybody, all the answers there should contain the words pot or pan. They're all hidden within each correct answer. Word pot or pan, remember. So I'll just let you get those quickly down. You're right, Clive, Janet. It does only take 2. But Georgia and the gang are a very young team, you see, so they possibly need a little bit of oldie knowledge when it comes to those ridiculous Latin and Greek and stuff like that. Well, they are studying literature, which is good. Right then, here we go then. Let's go through the answers to the pot or pan 10 general knowledge questions. Number 1, the underwater city of Bikini Bottom features in the TV series SpongeBob SquarePants, of course, which have got pan in there somewhere. Number 2 is nepotism. Nepotism. Yes, Julie Ashcroft saying all one. Have you not got the dog to help you, Julie, or anything, or the hamster or something? Question number 3, what word can go before membrane? It's the tympanic membrane, the tympanic membrane. Number 4, of course, is the hypotenuse, the longest side in a right angle triangle. Number 5, the island of Hispaniola. Hispaniola, well done if you got that. Number 6, of course, is campanology, the study of bell ringing. Number 7 was hypothermia, that condition where the core body temperature drops below 35 degrees C. Number 8, that dessert I was after, consisting of fruit preserved in syrup or cooked in a syrup, is a compote. Number 9, what breed of dog is Lady in the Disney film Lady and the Tramp? It's an American Cocker Spaniel. I will accept, apparently, Cocker Spaniel. So, Cocker Spaniel. And finally, number 10, who is described as tall and tan and young and lovely in the opening line of a famous song. It's the girl from Ipanema. So well done if you got that. The girl from Ipanema. Who sang the girl from Ipanema? I thought it was your friend. What's his name? Another used to. Maybe not. Right. Here we go. We've got some scores coming in already. We've got Ian Sharrett, Julie, Angie, Ian, Annie, Shiraz on 45.5 points. We've got Home Alone on 45 points. We've got Jed and Tracy on 43.5. Julie Ashcross moved on to 46.5. We've got Anthony Ridgway on 45. The famous 5 have moved on to 48.5 points. Martin Davis is all on 46 points. Well played him. Michelle and Charlie are on 45 points. We've got Sarah, James, Joe and Russ on a fantastic 39.5 points. We've got Squeaky Bob on 44 points. We've got Steve Farnan, Hills and Dexter. Is Dexter still awake? I asked myself. On 40.5 points. Jill and Steve Pure now moved up to a fantastic 39 points. Graham Giffords on 42.5. Rotary Club of Rugby on 47.5 points. They're well within a shout in the last round here. We've got Mike Yates on 38.5. PRS are on 48.5 points. Well played them. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 36. Andrew Lewis is on 41.5. Got Mick Roberts on 46. Well played, Mick. Team UK USA 47. That's a great score. Ian Miller is on 39. Nick Bowers is on 39. We've got 29 now for the Yorkies. Anne and Dave are on 46.5. We've got Don Quizzotti on 45.5. Les and Marion now. Mrs. Doyle are on 42.5. Vanessa's moved on to 31. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 46. And we've got Split the Difference on 47 points. What's this, Robin? I assume American Cocker Spaniels pronounce and spell words differently to British Cocker Spaniels. They probably do. Dear God. Never mind. Here we go then. Funny you should say that. But no, lying on his back, snoring his head off. Oh dear. So the team captain has gone to sleep on the job. You wake him up quick for this last round. Remember, 1 bark for yes, 2 barks for no. That's the answer. Right then, we have Gaz and Bean on 35. Well played, Gaz and Bean. Right then, do remember round number 6, the general trivia. They are 10 general knowledge questions. A little bit more awkward, and possibly ones that you can't quickly find on Wikipedia to help you out. I say woof, you say woof. Yes, okay, right. So we've now got Split the Difference 47. We have Anne and Dave 46.5. We've got Team UK USA 47. Mike Roberts is on 46. We've got the Rugby Rotary Club 47.5. We've got Martin Davis 46. We've got Famous 5 48.5. Julie Astro's 46.5. So there's some great scores there. Who else did I got? PRS are on 48.5. So I think we've got 2 teams at the moment, 48.5, both on 48.5. Yes, John O'Rourke on the Famous 5, and of course PRS are also on 48.5 points. However, this last round is not that easy. However, we'll see how you get on. Question number 1. It's a multiple choice question. Which famous inventor is credited with the development of bifocal glasses? I'll give you the choice. Was it Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, or Wallace Carruthers? All 3 famous inventors. So which famous inventor is credited with the development of bifocal glasses? I'll give you the choice. Was it Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, or Wallace Carruthers? What's it doing? Oh, it's raining again. I can hear it raining again. Question number 2. An office conferred by the Crown that is recognised by the courts. What does the acronym QC stand for? So an office conferred by the Crown that is recognised by the courts. What does the acronym QC stand for? Well, who's relishing the prospect of being locked down for another month? I don't know. I suppose it does give us a chance to get out and do a bit more walking, bird watching, in the rain, the cold. But I mean, we had some great fun early on in the summer when we managed to get out on our bike for a month or two, didn't we, Andrew? It's quite good fun, but it's going to be much harder now come the winter. Not quite sure as I want to go out cycling in this weather, but we'll see. Question number 3. Listen carefully. Question number 3. What age was Martina Hingis when partnered with Helena Suková, became the youngest player ever to win at Wimbledon when the pair of them took the doubles title in 1996? So question 3 again. What age was Martina Hingis when partnered with Helena Suková, became the youngest player ever to win at Wimbledon when the pair of them took the doubles title in 1996? You'll have to, I'm sorry about this. I'll stuck this in at the last minute, so you'll have to just listen to what I say. Right, question number 4. This is one I meant to put in the quiz last night, but I didn't. What's that? See what? Oh no, have I frozen, Lisa? Sorry. No rest for primary school teachers. We're still working this end. I can see his mouth. Where's Lisa? Nick has frozen on our screen. Is it us or you? Ah, I haven't frozen. What's that? The little live? Where's live? Got him back now. Oh, excellent. Well done, Lisa. Sorry, I paused him. Yeah, most people want to pause me, believe me. Never mind. Yeah, the wife's been trying for the last 40 years. Question number 4, listen carefully. What was the name of last night's full moon? I'll give you the choice. Was it the harvest moon, a shooter's moon, or a blue moon? So question 4 again. What was the name of last night's full moon? I'll give you the choice. Was it a harvest moon, the shooter's moon, or a blue moon? Right. What was the name of last night's full moon? I gave them choice. Was it the harvest moon, the shooter's moon, or a blue moon? I have, sorry, my daughter Lydia, I've changed that question. It was a question I meant to put in last night, but forgot all about it. And then I forgot to put it in today's quiz as well, but never mind. What? That's doing very well. Right, question number 5. This is a tricky one. Dave said Moon was called John. John Moon. Oh dear God. Well, it could have been Keith, I suppose, if it was Moon called Keith. Question number 5, listen carefully. Which of the following Star Wars original soundtrack albums achieved the highest chart position in the United Kingdom? I'll give you the choice. Was it The Force Awakens, The Revenge of the Sith, or The Phantom Menace? They've all of them have been in the UK album charts, but which one achieved the highest position? So, which of the following Star Wars original soundtracks achieved the highest chart position in the United Kingdom? I'll give you the choice. Was it The Force Awakens, The Revenge of the Sith, or The Phantom Menace? I know, it's a daft question, really, isn't it? It's the kind of question, it's the kind of crap question you get on the chase, really, isn't it? That kind of thing. You wouldn't expect it for one of my quizzes, but never mind. Oh, I hate questions like that, yeah. Well, the reason you hate them is because nobody actually knows the answer, you know, that's the answer. So it's a bit of a guess, bit of a lottery. However, good quizzes always come up with a good answer, so there we have it. What's Martin put? It's nice to hear questions about the moon instead of your favourite planetary body. I nearly had a question about Uranus, Martin. Well, not Uranus, obviously, but Uranus. Sorry. We'll see whether we can put a question in for Uranus next week, Martin. But never mind. Question number 6. If rolling a standard dice, what is the chance of throwing a 6 3 times in a row? Just a bum question. Dear God. So question 6 again. If rolling a standard dice, that's one die, what is the chance of throwing a 6 3 times in a row? That one cracked you up. Yes, quite. It's difficult for me to come up with any more Uranus questions, or Uranus questions, but never mind. Bob open, no open. Come on, Nick, you can work that one out. If rolling a standard dice, what is the chance of throwing a 6 3 times in a row? Right then, question number 7. If you've all been watching the television this week, or commonly advertised in the world of advertising, the company SCS, we've all heard of that, is famous for selling home furnishings, etc. But what does the acronym SCS actually stand for? That's a good one. So in the world of advertising, the company SCS is famous for selling home furnishings. But what does the acronym SCS actually stand for? It's often on the screen, but it's something you just don't look at, I have to say. It's a stupid name for a company anyway, but never mind. Question number 8. I'm sure a lot of us will remember this during our childhood, except maybe the Yorkies. Question number 8. The Heath test, a diagnostic skin test, was long performed to determine whether or not children had been exposed to which disease? So question number 8 again. The Heath test, a diagnostic skin test, was long performed to determine whether or not children had been exposed to which disease? I'm sure most of us will experience this at school. Hey, all the lads in the class used to come around trying to thump you on the arm after you'd had this. But never mind. Question number 9. This is for all you fellas. Which company launched the first 12-hour, long-lasting, non-transfer lip colour called Lipfinity? So which company launched the first 12-hour, long-lasting, non-transfer lip colour called Lipfinity? Thought you lads would like that one. I wear it all the time, I have to say, you can tell. And finally, question number 10. Please tell me you had to research that, said Martin. To be fair, I did hear that question the other day, Martin, so I'd already kind of heard it, and I thought you'd like that one, Martin. I did that just for you. Tina will help you out with that one, I'm sure. So question, although that's being sexist, you should know it as well as Tina. Although you might not use the product yourself, doesn't mean to say you don't have to know what's in your voice makeup cabinet. Right then, question number 10. This is one for you to work out. When written in Roman numerals, what year contains all 7 Roman numerals once and once only in descending order of value? Some of you quizzers will know that straight away. So when written in Roman numerals, what year contains all 7 Roman numerals once and once only in descending order of value? Well, there we have it. We've rounded the quiz up now. Some of those tricky in that last round, 1 or 2 were guesses. And I probably won't be best if I leave that running too long. So I'll give you just a minute to get those answers down. Now, do remember, on the 6th of December, we are doing a charity quiz night. We're going to try and raise some money for the Mighton Hospices around the Rugby area, which is a great cause. We've already been given 2 very good prizes towards this. And question 7, shocking customer service. Okay, it could well be. That's a good answer, that is, Andrew, especially if you know them. So, yeah, just throw me off things there. So, the 6th, just reserve the 6th. There's going to be a Just Giving page, and if any team wants to just donate a little bit towards the charity that night, it'll all be in aid of the hospices. So, me and my brother-in-law got to sit down and decide exactly how we're going to run the evening, but it will be just 6 rounds as normal. Of general knowledge quiz, but so if you would like to join us, you're more than welcome anyway. Right then, let's go through the answers and see how you fared, should we? The general trivia round. Number 1, which famous inventor is credited with the development of bifocal glasses? I gave you the choice. Was it Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, or Wallace Carruthers? Well, I think we all know Wallace Carruthers developed nylon, so it wasn't him. Thomas Edison and Benjamin Franklin. Well, it was Benjamin Franklin that developed bifocal glasses, came up with the original patent. Number 2, QC stands for Queen's Counsel. Queen's Counsel. Number 3, Martina Hingis was just 15 years when she won her first and youngest ever player to win Wimbledon. Number 4, last night, it was interesting because it was on the 31st of the month. It was a blue moon. It's the first time in 18 months that we've had a blue moon. So well done if you got that. And it was very visible last night. Number 5, which of the Star Wars original soundtrack albums achieved the highest chart position? That was, in fact, The Phantom Menace, which reached number 10 in the album charts. The Phantom Menace. That was a tricky one. Number 6. If rolling a standard dice, what is the chance of throwing a 6 3 times in a row? Well, you work it out by 1 over 6 times 1 over 6 by 1 over 6. There's a reciprocal of your answer. It's 1 over 216. So it's a 1 in 216 chance of throwing 3 6s in a row. Number 7, SCS stands for Sofa Carpet Specialists. Not shocking customer service, as Andrew has pointed out, but it could well be the same thing. Number 8, the Heath test is a diagnostic skin test, which was to determine whether children have been exposed to tuberculosis. Number 9, that non-transfer lip colour called Lipfinity was by Max Factor. And final number 10, of course, written in Roman numerals. What year? Consists of 7 Roman numerals, once and once only in descending order. That's MDCLX of VI, which is 1666. 1666. And a good year it was by any standards. So well done, everybody, tonight for taking part, and thank you. And we will look forward to seeing some of you, or most of you, on Wednesday night, if you want to put yourselves through this again. But never mind, it'll be our 60-second quiz on Wednesday night. I'm raring to go again. So let's have some scores. And we've now got John O'Rourke and the famous 5 have ended up with 55 points, 55 and a half. Sorry, well done, John, and the famous 5. That's pretty good going out of 60. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton on 55. Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6 on 54. This is all very close. We've got Anthony Ridgway on 52. Michelle Gibbons on 54. We've got the Rugby Rotary Club. Well played, Rugby Rotary Club. 57.5 points. Julie Ashcroft's ended up with 56.5 points. The Yorkies, where have they got? Ah, bother, I've just got on my screen. 33 points. Well played, Georgia. And so if there's 2 of you, what's the other person's name? Sorry, Georgia, just let me know. Graham Gifford's 49.5. We've got Andrew Lewis ending up on 47. Sarah, what happened, Sarah? Come on. It must be James and Joe, the weak links, clearly, or is it Russ? Ended up on a fantastic, where were they? 44.5, that's fine. Anthony, Ian James and Don Quizzotti on 53.5. We've got Mick Roberts, well done, Mick, on 53 points. Ian Miller's on 45. We've got Squeaky Bob on 52. Les and Marion ended up on 50.5. Well played, Mrs. Doyle. Eileen, that's Gaz and Bean, on 41 points. We've got Martin Davis, 54.5. Well played. Jill Pugh and Steve ended up on 45 after that disastrous start, but never mind. PRS have ended up on 57 points. Well played them. Jen and Tracy on 51.5. We've got Steve Farnan on 47.5 points. We've got Anne and Dave on 55 points. Lisa Lasky, Team UK, USA on 54. Last round was hard. It was hard. And never mind. Some of those you're never going to know, but never mind. We've got Julie, Ian, Angie and Shiraz on 51 points. Have we got any others to come in? Oh, and Split the Difference ended up on 56.5 points. So let's just see who tonight's winners are. We've got, let's have a look, we've got a 56.5. That's a very good score. Anne on 55. We've got 57 PRS. They've snuck them. PRS, 57 points. That's an excellent score. Oh, we've got, wait a minute, we're 57.5. Rugby Rotary Club, 57.5. RCR. We've got Home Alone 654, Climate Janet 55, the famous 5, 55.5. 55, no, there's some great scores there, but it looks tonight as if the winners only dropping 2.5 points all evening. Oh, we've got Julie as well on 56.5 points. Well done, Julie. So there are some great scores there, I have to say, but running out winners tonight by half a point. We have the Rotary Club of Rugby on a fantastic 57.5 points. So well played, Kevin Kiernan, and all the on the rest of the team. So well played, you. That's brilliant. Just behind them, being picked by half a point, we've got PRS ending up on 57. And then we have 2 teams, Split the Difference, and Julie Ashcroft. Well played, Julie, on her own on 56.5 points. Behind them, we had the famous 5 on 55.5 points. And I think everybody else, we've got Clive and Janet on 55, Home Alone on 54. We've got a few on 54. Some fantastic scores. So thanks, everybody, for taking part tonight. Look forward to seeing most of you on Wednesday again for another silly quiz. And if anybody wants any difference in the format or change anything or any specialist rounds they'd like to see, do let me know. Stay in touch. Obviously, now we're going into lockdown. It's going to be a bit more difficult, but never mind. I hope you're going to come and enjoy the quiz. Georgia, do let me know what your the rest of your other person in your team's called, and see whether you can get a few more to come and join in the quiz. And the same with all of you. You know, more people that know, the better. So great to see you all. Good night. And oh, it's Rory. It's Georgia and Rory. Excellent. Well done. Look forward to seeing you all again. Some of you on Wednesday. If not, we'll see you all again next time on Sunday. And do feel free, any of you that haven't liked the page, like the page. And, of course, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're nearly at the point now. God knows what point it is. I've got to get a few more yet, but never mind. Good night, all. Cheers, and thanks for taking part. See you again. Good night. we are, just ended.